Why do growing businesses love working in Slack? Let's ask Christy at Ari Bikes.
Running things in Slack saves me so much time.
AI summaries save 97 minutes per week. What say you, Rox from Gosney?
Slack helps us build community, it helps us build connection.
Your partners, vendors and customers all in one place. Take us on home, Ashley from Caraway.
If we didn't have Slack tomorrow, I would explode.
Well, let's not let that happen. Visit slack.com/podcast to get 50% off Slack Business Plus.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire an energy vampire. But also, they're a literal vampire. And suddenly, my team is spending all their time sharpening wooden stakes and buying bulk silver and rehearsing ancient chants, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant takes insights from over 1 billion professionals to create a short list of the best fits for you. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
A twisted new season of The Traitors is finally here.
What did I get myself into?
The prize, $250,000.
I'm gonna lie and cheat and do whatever I have to do to win. If you're gonna come for me, I'll finish you.
Shame on you!
I'm out for blood. It is like a firing squad. Boom, 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 boom.
Let the games begin. Emmy Award winner, The Traitors. New episodes streaming Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on Peacock.
Katie, it's been a bit since we talked about McGee and Me, but the last time we did it, we both agreed it was a step up from the first episode.
Massive.
In a major way. I think that this is also a bit of a step up, although some of the religious stuff was way more heavy-handed.
This was a half step back.
It's not as bad as the first episode, but it's not the highs of the game show episode.
Right.
But I'm very excited because this episode is about a horror movie, and we have one of the horror movie podcasters from Geekscape here to join us, James from the Monster Rally podcast. James, welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Now, were you familiar with McGee and Me before I assigned this one to you?
I think I've heard about it, and I heard you guys talk about it on previous episodes. But
okay.
I can say that I've never watched it before this one.
I want to know your first thoughts, because to me, I do think that McGee and Me, even at its worst, there is a noticeably higher production value to this show than most Christian shows. I'm kind of curious what your thoughts were diving into like these animated segments, Rube Goldberg machines, and like somewhat competent child actors.
Okay, so I do have to ask, like, is the Rube Goldberg thing, does that carry over from episode to episode, or is just...
I mean, it's the opening credits. That's like what this kid does, is just build Rube Goldberg machines.
I mean, there's like a lot of like high imaginary tech with
right, yeah.
And I think it was more like the Rube Goldberg thing, I feel like was more in the first episode than it really is, other than just being in the title.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
It disappeared in the second episode, but it comes back in this one. He builds another little weird Ferris Bueller style machine.
Yeah, I mean he creates an AI chatbot out of a tape recorder.
And it's as effective. Yeah, it's as effective as an AI chatbot.
Yeah, pretty much. It's good once. Once. And do all the episodes start with that big hero shot of the Bible too? I was not.
It does.
I'm like, oh, they're not even being subtle. Okay,
no, they're not hiding it.
So here's the thing that is worth knowing about McGee and Me, and I can still see elements of it when I watch this episode. They wanted this show to be a regular, like Seventh Heaven style sitcom. They were shopping this around to like ABC and NBC. But all of the channels were like, you have to cut the Bible stuff from the beginning. And they kind of refused to do that.
But like you can see how it could be a lot more if it had just been standardized for a general audience and not so specific.
Absolutely. Well, it was better. Like, I'm not going to dock it because it's not some HD transfer. You know? It looks like the 90s. And I gotta say, I was like watching it. I'm like, all right, okay, I'm kind of digging this. All right, like I get this. Oh, this is I remember, like, I don't know what kids do nowadays. Play on their phone, I guess, according to every boomer I've ever talked to. Yeah. And But I'm watching. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly like me and my buddies. We have like walkie talkies, and we would like make these crazy imaginative. Like I'm just like gun forward. Oh right, the '90s. Yeah, of course.
I'll also say that you can tell that they wanted this to be something more because they really did cast solid actors in a lot of these roles.
Yeah,
like there is a scene where they are having an argument in the kitchen, and it is like well acted. It's like realistic to a family argument in a kitchen. Like the issues, all of the McGee and Me issues from almost every single episode literally come in when they like drop this heavy religious hand into the dialogue. But when it's just playing like a family sitcom about a kid with an imaginary cartoon character friend, it's like I could see this being a TGIF show in the 90s so easily. Especially, and it almost like you get angry because you're like, were you that short-sighted that you couldn't think of a way to more subtly have the religious message in there and get this on to mainstream TV? That you're like, no, we need a Bible at the start of every episode. We need a minute cartoon breaking down a Bible verse. And at the end of the day, the dad has to drop religious lessons on this bastard of a kid.
It always comes down to him, doesn't it? It always comes down to dad. But yeah, I think what it really is probably just like, everyone who wants to make Christian content wants you to know that they're not hiding under a bushel. Oh no. Yeah. Like it has to be that. And I felt that way more with this episode than the previous episodes.
The previous episode was about like humbling yourself and taking care of your neighbor. We'll get into the message of this one. I was so frustrated with the message of this one. We're talking about episode 3, The Not So Great Escape. I will say that I think the animated segments get better and better with each episode.
It was a cool looking animated segment. And what was my big takeaway from that? Anything that's fun is evil, much like anything that tastes good is bad for you, right? Yeah. Like I was watching, I'm like, well, this just looks like all the cool things, and it's like radio is evil.
Yeah, it's something. We get this opening Bible verse, and it's McGee like going to a carnival of basically temptation. Then we jump to our main character, Nicholas. He's playing a space game with a walkie-talkie where
He's
football...
playing red versus blue.
Yeah, basically.
It really is.
Katie, I want to know, there's a piece of McGee lore that shows up that I'm curious if you clocked, because we have discussed, is McGee a living creature or a figment of Nicholas's imagination? And during this scene... they kick the football, and McGee comes over the walkie-talkie and says, like, that wasn't the real thing. It was a hologram. And Nicholas is reacting to it, and his friend looks confused in the background.
Yes.
And I can't tell if it's confused, like, who is Nicholas talking to, or confused as in, where did that fucking voice come from? But I'm like, all right, we're blurring the lines of like, is McGee real or not?
So I had that same thought where I'm like, I don't know what his friend is reacting to. Is it the voice or the fact that Nicholas is talking to nobody?
Yeah.
That I wasn't sure about. But when, to jump ahead a little bit, when he's breaking out of the house, McGee causes an actionable distraction for him to get out. So there's something there.
There's something there. There's some magic here.
There's some kind of tangibility, and I feel like
Satan's magic.
Yeah, maybe that's really what it is. Yeah, I assumed the friend was just like, he doesn't have enough God in his heart, so he can't see or hear.
Yeah, that's what it is.
He's a heathen.
He's a heathen.
All right.
I feel like that's what they were going for with this, and like this kid actor is really good.
Yeah. This kid, though, if you remember in the first episode, he is like the bad conscience on Nicholas's shoulder twice now. Because like first he like convinces Nicholas to break into that house to impress the bullies, and then abandons him when Nicholas gets caught. And now in this one, he's like mocking Nick relentlessly because his mom is like, come on, and the sun's about to come down. And like his friend's just like, what a baby. But then they get all excited about Night of the Blood Freaks Part 4 in 3D, which I love how much they say the title in its entirety.
And I also love that they reenact the commercial for it.
Yeah. Like, first it was the day of the Blood Freaks, then it was the afternoon of the Blood Freaks. Like,
great.
there are some genuinely good jokes in this show. And that was a pretty strong one for me, was how funny their excitement about the advertisement for this, like, schlocky. I'm going to make a reference that James will get and Katie may or may not, but like, they are talking about this movie and there's no world where this movie is anything more than like a really low budget, like Trauma or Full Moon film. Like, like, it sounds like the schlockiest garbage in the world. And I'm kind of bummed that we don't ever get to see this movie. Like, there's a scene where they're in the theater.
Song.
Yeah. Oh boy, do we. We'll get to the song. But yeah, so Night of the Blood Freaks Part 4 in 3D. He wants to go. His parents won't let him. And they're dropping the heavy-handed, like, oh, if you put that junk in front of your face, like, it's like, oh, how badly things will go for you.
The emphasis on this is so weird to me, because I feel like so many different sections of Christianity, so like sex, I'm not saying sex, sects, sects of religion, had this like weird thing of like, you can't consume things that will end up making you evil, because that's all you'll be able to think about. Like, that's why you don't watch porn. That's why you don't watch this or that. And
when he gets in trouble, his parents are like, congratulations, you fucked up your brain beyond repair because you watched a 90-minute movie in the theaters with your friends.
I mean, I didn't even look like he watched the whole movie. He was just like, oh, this is terrible. And I'm like, yeah.
It's explicitly American evangelicalism with that. Like, it goes back to the Pilgrims. The Puritan nature of it all, which is why, seeing violence all over the place, well, that's fine, but no cursing or boobies.
Yep, exactly.
I even had a professor in my college who at one point said, what if we are also culpable for the murders that we witness when we watch movies and television? And I was like, that's too much of a commitment.
Yeah,
come on.
I'm not gonna process that. Nicholas is all upset. He goes upstairs and he has a conversation with McGee, and McGee's like, "Why do you want to watch that garbage?" And we do get a phenomenal Siskel and Ebert parody of the two of them, and McGee puts on the Malting Falcon. Great pun name. And it's this hilarious film noir segment where there is like a gag every second. It's like a Naked Gun movie. It
was crazy.
It was really well done. I was like, Mom was in Cleveland getting a nose job. Solid joke because of that frame.
Yeah, the frame with there's like an additional part to the frame to fit the nose in.
I feel like they had like a writer's room and they only let those who were, I don't know, of a different ilk of Christianity be that writer.
Yeah.
Like maybe they were Jewish.
I was gonna say, like, that's where they kept the token Jewish writer.
I was wondering.
It truly was, because it was like joke. Like every second of it. It was like watching an Animaniacs parody.
I was gonna say Animaniacs or Tiny Toons and stuff. Yeah, because like, it was like and I'm a film, like I'm a monster movie guy. Clearly, listen to the Monster Rally podcast. Yeah. It's on the Geekscape Network.
But film noir, man,
I'm a film noir guy from like way back. Like that's my explicit jam. And I was like, oh man, this is awesome. Like, and it's funny.
Well, and there's this great parody though, where afterwards, like McGee's like, yeah, that's a classic movie, and Nicholas is like, psh, that movie's boring. Have you seen the gritty remake? And then it's just this insane, like, just firing guns left and right and throwing a grenade. And I'm like, this is a really funny parody of how we do ruin classic films.
Mm-hmm.
And like the fact that McGee's got like a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
Also like an 80s star.
We literally last year on Horror Movie Night, we watched Death Race 2000 for its 50-year anniversary. And the topic came up of how dramatically different that movie is to the remake that came out like 15 years ago called Death Race. Because like Death Race 2000 is this like unfortunately still relevant social commentary about like a fascist American government that entertains the masses with professional wrestling style violence and like the resistance trying to fight against this president who's sat in office for 20 years and blah, 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 blah. And then you get to the remake and it's just like Jason Statham drives fast car and kills people. And that's the movie. And you're
wrongfully imprisoned.
Race to get out of prison. Yeah, it's literally, oh, you were wrongfully in prison. I guess you got to it's like The Running Man. Like they made a movie of The Running Man as a death race movie.
Well, the funny thing is with that is that I think this upcoming Running Man from Edgar Wright, I think it's closer to the source material.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It looks like it in every way, shape, and I can't wait.
It looks awesome, but I still love the original movie.
Yeah.
New Year, same extra value meals at McDonald's. So now get 2 snack wraps, plus fries, and a medium soft drink for just $8.
For limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Hawaii, Alaska, and California, and for delivery.
I'm your host, Stassi Schroeder. Welcome to Tell Me Lies, the official podcast. What's the most unhinged thing of season 3?
Steven, because he's so evil.
I do think he is misunderstood.
You see everyone face consequences. It's intoxicating.
The writers just know how to trick you.
There's always a twist in this show. It's nothing you would expect.
Tell Me Lies, the official podcast, January 6th, and stream the new season of Tell Me Lies, January 13th on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
It's football season, and you can now get almost anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a running back delivered, but you can get baby back ribs delivered. A strong defense? No. A strong deodorant? Yes. A 6-pack of abs? Nope. 6-pack of beer? Yes. Get almost anything for game day delivered with Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Alcohol 21 plus and in select cities. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Visit Blinds.com now for up to 45% off site-wide, plus a free professional measure. Rules and restrictions apply.
Looking for a new seasonal anime? Want to know what new anime music is out there? Looking to add a new waifu or husbando to the list? Or are you just looking for a modern or classic anime to add to your plan to watch list? My name is Nick and I run the Waifus and Weeaboos podcast, and you can check me out on Geekscape.net.
Then we do get where his friend calls and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm grounded. I yelled at my parents. I can't leave the house. And he's like, dude, let's be like on our favorite TV show and you'll escape. We'll do a whole breakout. And this is where we see him setting up this Rube Goldberg project. He stole it straight from Ferris Bueller. It's like if someone knocks on the door, it'll be my voice on a tape recorder being like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't come to the door right now or whatever. And it fucking works the first time, which blew me away.
Mm-hmm. The direct answer to a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a pre-recorded answer. And I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Terrible cassette tape, though, because it fails him like 25 minutes later.
It just starts to repeat what she's saying.
Yeah. It was like somehow recording her.
Yeah.
But if I told my parents as a kid, when I'm grounded, right, and the door's closed, they knock on it. And if I say, come back later, I'm drawing. Like, are you kidding me? Like, okay, guess what?
Ain't no goddamn world where that's okay.
No.
So Nicholas, you already referenced this earlier, James, but Nicholas is sneaking out of the house when his dog, whatever, which I don't think I clocked in the first 2 episodes that their dog's name is whatever.
I didn't either. And I was like, is that really the dog's name?
It's almost like in the writer's room, they're like, what do we name this dog? And someone's like, I don't know, whatever. We'll get to it later. And then they just never got to it. And that's the name that's stuck on the page.
I feel like they shouted into the room with the one Jewish guy, and they're like, "What should we name the dog? Whatever."
But yeah, McGee threatens the dog with a bomb, and it makes the dog run away.
Dude, the bomb. Where the hell did the bomb come from?
Yeah, McGee, for someone who's really against Nicholas seeing this monster movie, you're like pulling bombs out to get your way. Not a good look.
Lots of guns and violence in this one.
I really didn't think Nicholas was going to successfully sneak out, but he does. They go to the theater, and immediately I'm loving the logo. Even we see the logo on the marquee, and I'm like, this looks pretty tight.
I want to watch the movie.
I want to watch
the movie.
I can't believe that they get into the theater with this move
Oh
where
my God.
he's like, how are we going to buy tickets? And him and his friend run up to the ticket taker right after an older guy leaves. And he goes, we'll be right there, Dad. And they order the 2 tickets. There's a little bit of a race joke here where the ticket taker looks at his friend who is black and the guy who just left was white. And he goes, it's his dad that we're following. And the ticket taker's just like, oh, okay, makes sense.
Now I did get a little bit because she's the friend is the devil on the shoulder, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't know, why do you have to be black?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, the one black character in the show, huh?
But you know what? He commits to it. And that's what I really enjoy about that little actor is that, like, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm playing the foil. And, like,
I'm playing the shitty little kid.
Yeah. And he does pretty well. He is a shitty little kid who's just like, oh, your parents don't let you, like, oh, is it getting dark outside? Like, he makes fun of him all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't see how your parents actually let you hang out with this kid.
That's the question.
So I want to ask you guys a question, and I feel like the answer is yes. I'm assuming that all 3 of us have snuck into an R-rated movie at some point in our adolescence, right?
Oh, yeah.
I would never do that. I'm a good pious boy.
I want to tell you the story.
I would say up till 1 a.m. sneak down and watch HBO.
Yeah,
I wouldn't sneak into a movie theater, of course. I respect.
I mean,
cinema.
the classic move is always just buy a ticket to a different movie
And then go in the other one at
door.
the same time. Yeah.
I do want to share the story. The story of the one time I got caught. Because most of the time I never got caught. I looked older for my age in high school, which I think is funny because now I feel like I look younger for my age, but that's neither here nor there.
Sure.
We had our friend Jesse. It was my friend Jesse, Tom, and myself. We all wanted to see Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So
Nice.
Jesse's mom went and bought us tickets because we're like, we can't even risk the sneak in. Like, we want to see this movie. We don't want to have any hurdles. So the mom buys the tickets. And it was the first time I've ever experienced where the ticket taker was at the entrance of the theater. It wasn't like a general ticket taker when you walk in.
Yeah.
Outside, like if it was in theater 10, you had to walk to theater 10 with your Jay and Silent Bob ticket.
Oh, wow.
And they would tear the ticket and let you in. So I go in first. He tears my ticket. I walk in, and then I'm standing there. And then like 4 or 5 other people walk in that are not Tom and Jesse. And then Tom walks in and he's like, hey, I need you for a second. And I walked back out. And the first thing I hear is the ticket taker say, oh, that guy is not your dad. And apparently,
oh no,
they tore my ticket being like clearly a 17-year-old. Then Tom and Jesse showed up and they wouldn't tear their tickets because they were 13 and looked 13. And they said, our dad's in there. We just ran out to like whatever they're like. We just ran out to get concessions. He's holding our seats. And the guy was like, if your dad's in there, you got to bring your dad out here to me.
Oh no.
So then I didn't get to see the movie either because I would have been perfectly willing to just sit and watch the movie. But
Absolutely. I mean, I remember my first R-rated movie was with my dad. We saw Last of the Mohicans.
Okay. Classic child R-rated movie.
The classic. Was it James Fenimore Cooper novel, right? Yeah. My second one was, and it was the first time I saw an R-rated movie, it was just me and my buddy. His mom bought us tickets for the Robert De Niro classic Ronin.
Jesus.
Oh shit!
How much of the most esoteric R-rated movies?
You went to very different R-rated movies than me. The other story that I remember about sneaking into an R-rated movie was we snuck into Idle Hands.
That's a fun one.
Which hilariously, we thought that was going to be a packed theater. It was us and like 4 other people in that movie theater. But at the time, the local AMC, if you bought the large soda and you finished it, you would get a free refill.
Oh.
And I have to imagine that my friend Jesse wasn't the only person who did this move because they definitely stopped doing that. Was he got a large soda and then just poured it on the seats directly in front of us so no one would sit in front of us and block the screen, and then went and got a refill.
Not for nothing. dirtbag move from your friend.
Yeah. Well,
way dirtbag. Just get a gallon bag and fill that up, and then be like, finished it.
No, so the dirtbag move was, in a certain way, I feel like he protected us, right? Because we're in a giant empty theater. One adult male comes in.
No.
And decides to sit right in front of us in an entirely empty theater and sits down and just goes, "Oh, God damn it." And like got up.
That's amazing.
So I think Jesse protected us from a creeper who was going to sit directly in front of
you.
Three 13-year-old kids snuck into a movie. Anyway, turns out that Night of the Blood Freaks Part 4 in 3D, not that great. And Nicholas starts to look both grossed out by the film and kind of ashamed that he's broken his parents' trust. And then we get this song as he's sadly walking home. And I did write down one lyric.
Oh, I bet it's the same one I wrote down. Go ahead.
What you see is what you get, so you better make sure it's heaven sent.
Oh my God. I was like, what is this lyric? And I was just like, we're pulling from like a little bit too much emphasis into what the text is saying.
Yeah,
I want to say
there is a thing called subtext, and they need to learn that.
Listen, Christianity has not learned about subtext, sir. I don't know why you think McGee and Me's creators would.
That's on me. I've never had the dissociation during a film like Nick did while he was watching it. Because I'm looking, I'm like, oh, he's fighting a war in that brain of his right now.
he's like tearing up.
I've only ever done that when I've gotten a little too high when seeing the movie. I have left the movie feeling as bummed out though, and that was when I saw the 2010 remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. That was the only time I left the theater as bummed out as I did.
I refuse to go see it. I heard so many negative things after opening night, and I love that franchise. I was like, I'm not even going to put myself through it.
I've only walked out of one movie, and it was the second Kingsman.
So the only movie I ever walked out of was actually with Jonathan London. We went to a press screening of some movie. I don't even remember what it was at this point, but it was like your typical dumb action movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like sitting there, and there was like the occasional moment where we would like laugh and be like, God, this is really bad. And then at a random moment, John leans over and goes, I feel like we should be doing literally anything else with our time. And I said, yeah, I'm kind of with you. And he's like, do you want to just like go? He's like, we didn't pay to come here. Like, it's a press screening. I was like, yeah, let's just leave. And we just like got up and left.
It's like, it is the most heartbreaking thing to see when it's a free screening.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, but that's what happens when you make stuff like that.
Yeah. And it was just one of those, like, it was one of those films at the time. So it would have been like 2010. Stop me if this plot sounds familiar, but it's like a gang of people doing an espionage thing, but one of them might be a rat, but then twist, there's a bunch of rats, and maybe our main character is the only faithful person on this. Like, it was just like, I have seen the same basic vibe of this movie so much over the last 2 years of like heist gone wrong. Like, so like we all kind of know where this is going. But yeah, that Nick comes home, his parents make him feel like absolute dog shit, and then they just ground him.
They react.
They bully their child.
They react like he just like
murdered somebody in front of them.
I was gonna say a different sin, but yeah. I mean, like they react like he's just completely ruined his life. Like, like he took a bunch of drugs and got like knockout drunk or something.
Yeah,
and it's one movie that he hasn't seen the prequels to, you know,
and he hated enough to leave. Like,
like
I almost felt like this is where it becomes the religious movie instead of the parent, like a mainstream thing, right?
Yeah,
because the mainstream thing would have been that he starts having nightmares, and they're like, see, like, this is the reason why we didn't want you to go see that movie yet. You're not old enough for it. We knew that you would react this way. Like, we had the best intentions for you, but we're not going to punish you too hard because you're already feeling guilty in the effects of it. It's almost like the caught you smoking a cigarette, make you smoke a pack of cigarettes type punishment of like, okay, you see why this is messed up.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is that like for this episode especially, like they've completely forgotten the whole show don't tell situation. Like until it comes to like the McGee like cartoon interstitials, which I always love. But when it comes to like they're like, we were trying to protect you, and it's like, when you're watching this, and I'm thinking about it like watching it from the perspective of myself as a kid, and like I don't even see what's happening on the screen for the horror movie. And then you come home to the parents and they know, and he knows, and everybody's mad. But it's like, you're not seeing like how it affects him really. And then like, even the resolve of this was like, guess my parents were right. And then that's it.
Yeah. I think that we're describing how Step by Step and Full House would have handled this. And
yes.
Like
Boy Meets World, whatever.
Yeah, all of those shows have done this kind of plot line, and all of those shows have a much less stressful conclusion. Like, this was the first of all of the episodes so far of McGee Me. This was the first one where I was like actively annoyed at the parents by the end of it, where I was just like, what is this guilt trip bullshit that you're doing to this kid who already feels terrible? Like he's already come home ashamed and feeling terrible. And like any parent in this world that I know would be like, look, we're going to punish you, but it looks like you're already punishing yourself quite a bit. So we're going to ground you, but I don't want you to forget how bad you feel right now, because like, this is why you have to listen to us when we like, I do this all the time with Barb's kids, where it's like, hey, remember when we told you not to do this all these times and you still chose to do it, and now you're very upset because you fell and got hurt? Like, you have to trust that your mom and I know what we're talking about when we say that that's a bad idea. Like, then I'm not like, go to your room. Like, I'm just like, hey, buddy, like you've already learned the lesson. And the lesson was like, don't do that because you're going to get hurt, and you got hurt. Like, you don't need to add insult to injury with punishment after that.
The amount of guilt on there is it was so heavy, and like you ruined your life, you ruined your brain, all that. And I'm like, wow, this is getting real dark. Yeah, it's getting real dark. But I will say, like, the fact that they're making him feel guiltier than he already feels. Like, as I was raised Roman Catholic, right? So I'm like, I get the guilt. I get this guilt. Yeah. But everything else, I'm like, oh, this is not much.
Yeah. No, and like the guilt definitely felt real and very realistic with like the conversation with the family. Like, it was well done in that regard. But it's also like, but there wasn't really a lesson learned in this entire lesson learning style show, where it was just like, no, just don't go see the horror movies because you'll think about them forever. And I don't know about you, but like, I mean, if it's like a movie that I walked out of, I'm not going to remember every detail of it.
I can't remember the name of the movie I walked out of. Like, that's how unimportant and forgettable those movies are. Like, oh well.
Fully absurd. I love it. Great episode.
Well, listen.
How about that song though?
They may not be covering Night of the Blood Freaks Part 4 in 3D anytime soon, but James, before we wrap up, how about you tell us about Monster Rally Podcast and the type of stuff you do cover?
Monster Rally Podcast is, once again, as previously mentioned, a show on the Geekscape Network. I host with my friend Gary, who I've known since first grade, maybe earlier. That's the kind of movie that he and I would have watched on a Friday night on cable, you know?
Yeah.
But what we do is we watch, we started off, season 1 was all the classic Universal monster movies. Since joining the network, we're branching out. We'll do older stuff, we'll do modern stuff, and stuff that we want to cover. This fall, we are watching all the Fly movies. You know, we do a Werewolf Winter in every January. Yeah. And we often have Matt on to cover a wet monster movie.
Yeah. I do love aquatic horror. You do stick with monsters. I would say that's the big thing.
Monsters.
You're not going to do slasher. You're not going to find like Freddy, Jason, or the Scream movies on your show.
The like we're looking at like big capitalism movies, because what is the biggest monster, right? Big thumbs up. We'll have you back on for that one, Katie.
Okay, great.
This week we explicitly just do monster movies, and so
this week on
they're not
Monster
even
Rally
horror.
Podcast, we're just discussing the news.
Capitalism.
All right,
But, you should follow us at Monster Rally Podcast on socials. You can even go to the beautifully redesigned Geekscape.net and listen to our show through the website.
Yeah, same with
Would
Christian
you believe
Cringe.
that the show is hosted by two white guys with beards? Who'd have thunk?
Yeah, a horror podcast, you say?
Never would have thought.
I never would have guessed.
When I hand out cards at San Diego Comic-Con talking about Geekscape's wide variety of horror podcasts, I remember this was before Monster Rally was on the network, but I would say, well, we have Fright School, which looks at horror films from the queer lens, and we have the Jersey Ghouls that looks at horror films through the feminist lens, and there's Horror Movie Night, which looks at horror movies through the lens of three straight white men, which is truly the voice that is the most silenced in this field right now.
But these are monsters. These are white men talking about monsters.
It's a big difference. All right. Well, we will be back next week with more Christian Cringe. Go check out the Monster Rally podcast. And Katie, I don't know what we're talking about next week, but I think it's going to be music. So I hope you're ready to listen to some tunes.
I'm ready.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.